I know this is a long video, but in this one I show my in-depth guide about my own thought process about every single aspect of this game that I could think of, from the shop, wonder pick, even to just the card collection and how I collect cards. There's a difference which packs I open and how I decide to open it, how I follow that. But most importantly, probably for most of you here, you might enjoy the battle tricks as well. Without further ado, we'll get into the video. I hope you enjoy your sleep, because you probably will fall asleep after 5 minutes. Enjoy. Thank you for tuning in. So, there are several things to consider when you want to fight the solo event right now, the Venusaur drop event as it says here. First of all, if you can, get a fire deck first of all, right? If you have Charizard EX, that's the best one that you can get. I have made a simple and quick Charizard EX deck. 2 Charizard EX cards, right? As well as 1 Moltres card. And the Moltres card is there to provide fire energy for your Charmanders and Charizards at the start of the battle. Everything else you fill up with items or whatever you have, but I do really recommend having 2 Professor's Research at all times, 2 XP, 2 potions, and 2 Pokeballs. Like Sabrina's also useful to help you defensively as well as offensively. And I have my Giovanni card as a deck filler. Instead of a Giovanni card, I could have a second Moltres card, but that's not really necessary at all, because with this deck I prioritize about building up Charizard as quick as possible, and if I can't, I will be able to attack with a 70 damage Heat Blast along the match time. So, since it's a grass deck enemy, you will deal plus 20 damage with all your fire attacks, right? Fire moves. That's why it's a very speedy battle. So, I advise you to save energy here, to save this event stamina. Try to complete as many battle tasks as possible at the same time. This one, the first one, you can do it with literally first try, which I did as well. It's the easiest one, right? There's no danger here. Put 3 basic Pokemon and knock out an enemy with a fire type Pokemon on your end. The second one, we have knock out enemy active Pokemon twice, like 2 times, with a fire Pokemon on your deck. Easy. Then we get a bit more difficult with win this battle by turn 14. This is where the speedy builds come in clutch. Like this build here, you can finish in turn 11, which I did often. And this is also the first time I tried. There's now a different battle task here. Make your opponent Pokemon asleep 1 time. It gives you 3 event hourglasses, but you can leave that for later, because there's better things to focus on, of course. So, next up, the advanced one. Hi Spectacle, hey yo, how you doing? So, the advanced one, I managed to do 1 match and win without enemy getting any point by turn 14 as well. The other one is win 5 or more battles, so you have to repeat this task and win with a 3-star, like 3 diamond rarity or lower, which means you're not allowed to use EX Pokemon here. That's the only difference with this one, and I will be building a deck when it comes to this 3 diamond rarity, of course. So, next up, Expert. I also did a first try win here. As you can see here, win 10 or more battles or 20 or more battles, just like the Lapras event from last week. You have both replayability tasks as well for your Wonder Hourglasses, and then win without having the opponent get any points, and by turn 12. I finished this first try on turn 11, barely. Hi, sweet, it's good. Just ate dinner. Oh, that's wonderful. I've been doing some battles, still need the full archive from the packs. You got this. So this deck, this expert rank also requires the 3 diamond rarity to use, so no EX. But I advise you, before you try to get this difficult battle task here, focus on, if you have a Charizard EX, at least one of them should be good enough for you, and the Moltres. If you have both cards, Moltres and Charizard EX, then you will be able to consistently get this achievements, this battle task fairly easily, right? This Venusaur deck that the enemy has at the hardest difficulty uses a lot of basic Pokemon, like 2 Kangaskhan. That's the only thing that will take a while to knock out because of the 100 HP. Then you have 2 Bulbasaurs and 2 Petilittles with they are very easy to take out. And once it evolves into Ivysaur, it already requires 3 energy to actually do some attacks, right? And that's where your play comes in. Since Venusaur EX is an expensive card with 4 energy, it's gonna take a while. So, your main point of danger would be Kangaskhan here if you get unlucky with the coin flips from the enemy. Other than that, there's only one Sabrina card that you can be wary of. There's a 1 heal for 50 HP, but if you're using fire decks, which basically one-shot most of them anyway, it shouldn't be an issue, like especially if you get a very nice build-up. So there's nothing other than this to really explain or talk about. So first of all, I will use my Charizard deck that I showed you earlier to simulate one battle in the expert level, so you can see my full process with this whole fight. So, alright, let's see how this goes, right? I'll start off immediately with a Charmander, which is not nice. We want to start with Moltres EX to equip it 1 energy card to actually be able to get a beautiful head start. Hi Eli, welcome to the stream. So first of all, the only thing I have open is Pokeball and Pokédex, but I will always use Pokédex before Pokeball just to check the next 3 cards if there are any useful ones. In this case, I would rather have a refresh here. Let's say if I use a Pokeball, my deck will be refreshed, right? This way, I will be able to reset these cards from any random order in hopes of getting at least Charmeleon next turn. That will speed up our entire play massively. So the good thing is I already have Moltres EX with this Pokeball, and if next turn I do get an X speed, for example, since we have 2, it will help me retreat Charmander immediately into Moltres EX. As I guessed, I am correct. I will use X speed immediately for 3 retreat cost and equip Moltres with a fire energy to do the Inferno Dance and do the coin flips. Since Moltres EX has lots of HP, it's a perfect starter, and I will not use potion since the Petilittle only deals 10 damage and I still have enough. Usually with this deck I focus my potions on Moltres to have it stay alive for longer, so I can easily build up my Charizard. That's a lucky coin flip for me. Mwah. Enjoy your kiss. So, already starting with Lilligant, which means 50 damage each turn, and that is really bad for us. What I'll be doing right now is using my Sabrina to force it to Bulbasaur immediately. The reason being is to avoid getting damaged by Lilligant's 50 damage, and I will attach energy to our Charmeleon here. Why? Because I already have a Charizard in my hand. If I did not have Charizard, I would have put that energy on Moltres EX right away. So I'll be using one potion on Moltres to have a higher HP stat just for safety reasons. And it doesn't matter if I don't win any coin flips right now, because I already achieved what I wanted. Like even one is more than enough. Moltres is really strong card for fire decks, it's amazing. Now we pretty much have won the battle already at this point. There's absolutely zero way for me to lose. I already know the outcome of this battle. Why? As you can see here, the enemy CPU tried to split energy between both Bulbasaurs and not focus on a single Bulbasaur itself. If you focus all your energy on one card, it's much faster to build up and keep that momentum. And right now, I'll be doing just this. It's time to end it all. And I just need to attach one more energy and I can do the 220 attack again very easily. But I do not need to do that since the level 1 attack that I have, Slash, deals 60 damage plus 20 against grass types. But since Kangaskhan is at the front and can deal 60 damage if it wins both coin flips, this is your more difficult fight. In this case, against Kangaskhan you have to use your stronger attack, of course, your Crimson attack. Let's do this again. Crimson Storm. So next turn I cannot use that move because I would need 2 energy right now. But as I said, it's barely possible to lose with this deck. Compared to the previous Lapras event, that one was really tough, especially because of Starmie EX. To be honest, Lapras isn't a huge deal, because Starmie, 2 energy cards for 90 damage, with 0 retreating cost is insane. It's insane. But as you can see here, immediately won the match with a very short period of time. And we will see at the results screen how many turns have passed. You may even be able to use an auto fight here, turn 11, as you can see. So I would have technically gotten the other achievement as well. And I got a promo pack. So the thing here, very important, I have just learned that earlier today. On expert level, if you win the match, you will 100% guarantee obtain a promo pack. On advanced, it's 80%. I didn't look up the beginner and the intermediate because most people would try to do advanced, because at least with advanced we have this battle task, 5 or more battles, and this special rarity quest here that starts up here. This is what really gets people to play, like a little bit of challenge and not too easy, right? This is the first deck that introduces Venusaur EX. Now, let's see. Finally got the card that is the best card right now in this promo pack. This card is something that you should aim for. It's Jigglypuff, colorless energy, any color energy, and it puts the enemy to sleep without any drawbacks. Sure, the 50 HP might be dangerous, but it's not less than 50 HP. The good thing here, Farfetch'd can't one-shot Jigglypuff. It might be able to tank 1 hit in the early game, and only has 1 retreat cost, which can be mitigated easily by an X-speed usage. So, if you don't know which Pokemon to pick, add Jigglypuff to your team. Hey, congratulations Adelia, that's very nice. I want to get all the cards, that will be amazing. So, We have that. We will focus now on creating a new deck together. Build a new deck. I still have a couple. So Blaney boy. We will do fire energy. Highlight cards can't be done. Fire deck, of course. And I will do my cutesy coins. There we go. God of War, because I can. Now, what you should do, really important here. Only click on these three and then search for the cards, because the quest for advanced and expert level tells you to use 3 diamonds or less of a rarity, because diamond, the 4 diamond cards are always EX cards. So you should be focusing on non-EX Pokemon, right? So first and foremost, Ninetales. With Vulpix, of course, that's the number 1. Then we have Arcanine, which is 100, but I will not use it. If you look at the difference between Arcanine and Ninetales, 100 attack for 3 energy and also deals damage to itself as well, 20 damage. Arcanine has 40 HP more than Ninetales, which is quite a lot. However, Ninetales needs 2 energy for 90 attack. This costs 1 energy as a drawback. So it's much earlier can be used a 90 attack move, which is why I will not pick Arcanine in my deck. Then you have a budget option, which would be Rapidash, 1 energy for 40 damage, which is just like Farfetch'd, right? However, this has 100 HP and the fire attribute that helps us deal 60 damage instead. Now let's see. Sandyscourge is also something you could do, but since it's super expensive and you don't have Moltres EX to speed up the energy gain, this wouldn't be useful at all. I would stay away from that, definitely. Next up, Flareon. Such a cute artwork. Flamethrower, 110 damage. This got 1 fire energy from this Pokemon. Compared to Arcanine, 100 attack for 3. Flareon has 110 for 3. This one does 20 damage to itself. Flareon only takes away 1 energy, right? Let's check again. This got 1 fire energy. 120 HP. 130. So it's almost identical card, just with 10 attack more in exchange for 10 HP less, but with a better side effect. Not hitting yourself, but removing a single energy. So if you wanna play Arcanine, just forget about it and get Flareon instead. With Moltres, this is a gamble if you love gambles. Expensive attack for a coin flip. It's either you deal 130 damage or nothing. So, against a Venusaur EX, you're in for a very big trouble. For Venusaur EX, you would need to hit 2 attacks with any of your fire type moves here. So, I do have Ninetales, of course, and I will add Ponyta and Rapidash, 2 of them, because they're very cheap, right? Very cheap cards to do and build for. And then go all the way down here, add 1 Blaine, because that's all I have. I only have 1 Blaine. This is very interesting because Blaine can do once a turn, like during this turn, attack used by your Ninetales, Rapidash or Magma, do plus 30 damage. So you deal way more damage. So having 2 Blaines is pretty much a must, but since I also don't have it, it's more of a budget option of having only one. Take 2 Sabrinas to help yourself, take 2 Giovannis to get that 10 HP barrier away from you, and you already are really good, right? So we have the option to take any cards with, like, I could get Eevee. Why did I? Okay, look, the reason why I said Evoli is because in German it's called Evoli. Eevee is Evoli. And today I had a conversation with a friend where I looked up German names for the evolutions, and Evoli is the name for Eevee. And let me tell you, the worst offender for the evolution names in German is for Leafeon in German. What is it? Well, you can look it up yourself. I'm not gonna take that surprise away from you. So, now looking at Jigglypuff, the one that existed so far has a 2 energy cost for 30 damage, which is horrible. Then you have Farfetch, 1 energy for 40 for the same HP stat as well. So Jigglypuff is the worst stage when it comes to Wigglytuff EX decks, because once you get out of the Jigglypuff stage, you're really rolling. So with the promo card, you can easily make the enemies go good night mode, right? Okay, so I did have these 3, right? However, one other thing that you should add is, first of all here. Oh wait, I don't have the promo button. Where is it? There. Oh no, the promo button is right here. I forgot that. Promo also should work. Why does it work? Well, because they are not Pokemon. They're not Pokemon, that's the difference here. So, of course you would need to add other items. Wait, I haven't included items, right? That's the bad thing about this search system right now. It doesn't automatically search for items and tools and supporters like all trainer cards here. There we go. 2 of this, 2 of Professor Research, of course, you would need that. And I will do 2 this, 2 that, and then we can slowly reduce our deck. So in this one, I would just use Ninetales and Rapidash. And in terms of adjusting, I would do... Okay, Pokeball, getting 2 of each to refresh would be nice, but let me see. We have 110 damage with this one. 2 attacks would be enough. With Rapidash we have 40, which is 60. And technically I can get rid of both Giovannis, so I can have at least 1 Pokédex to help me reduce the unknowing, the uncertainty of which cards I'm gonna pull. So this is what I'll be trying to do for now. Quickly, we have created a fire deck. A cheap fire deck that you can use in fights and battles. Blaine has been saving my butts in some of these battles. Yeah, I believe you're definitely gonna be one of those things. So now let's check up. I will immediately go to... Wait, no, actually, let me check here. 5 battles, and yeah, let's try this one. Before that, the only difference that you have here is there's only 1 Venusaur EX card, right? You have Parasect, Go-Goat. Those are the only differences, along with Tauros and Kangaskhan, which means this deck is automatically worse just by having way too much basic Pokemon. To best optimally test my strength of the new deck, it's best to attack this one. This is more, it's more optimized deck, especially because it has Erika, which can heal 50 damage. So we'll see. I only have 1 energy left to actually battle and win, but if you lose a battle, you don't lose your energy, you can retry. So I can start immediately with Ponyta. The reason I picked Ponyta over Vulpix is so I can immediately start dealing damage for 1 energy, especially with the evolution as well. Right now I have Pokeball and Professor Research to use, and I will use a Professor. Okay, and then I will let it slide. I will not take another Pokeball right now because I have no need for such. Have you already used up your battle houses? None of them. None of them at all. I haven't used a single one. Even in the previous one, in the Lapras event, I probably only used it once or twice at the very beginning. And then I avoided doing so. And boom, already having a Rapidash. Lucky me. That is me being lucky. Okay, I have put the fire elements, and from now on I will just add 2 fire on Ninetales and that's it. So the best thing I can do here is just attack straight up. And with Rapidash with 40 damage plus the weakness, it's an insta-kill for Pediluddle. And the reason why I had Giovanni in the first place is to KO Bulbasaur immediately, since 40 plus 20 is 60, you're missing 10 attack points, right? 10 HP. That's where Giovanni comes into place to have an instant knockout for Bulbasaur. I might change one Sabrina away, but I'm not sure about that. Maybe getting the Pokédex away for that reason, you know? Right now I use my second Professor Research, of course, and we got a Blaine just when we need it. So I would suggest keeping Sabrina for easier KOs. Yeah, Auto Mode is being weird just because you said but. Like, come on. I say as. It's the worst word to use. And there we go, Ivysaur immediately. Which is not nice. What I'm gonna do right now, obviously attaching energy to our good girl here, Ninetales. But more importantly, using Sabrina immediately. Even though I could damage Ivysaur, the better thing is I can get a KO on Pediluddle immediately. That's the best outcome that I can do. I don't need to use Pokeballs, so I'm not going to use them. Not until I obtain my Pokédex, so I can actually look inside the deck which next card I will be pulling. If I think it's not necessary for me, then I will not use it. Simple as that. So, it's now Venusaur time. 1 more energy on Ninetales. And I do not have any EX speed, so I'll have to give up energy on Rapidash. And since we have Blaine, plus 30 damage, boosted. And right now, we'll deal 120 damage with this attack. However, it's gonna be 140 with Blaine. Simple. The enemy can use, well, didn't use it right now. If the enemy CPU has Erika, it could upgrade Venusaur's health plus 50 easily. And right now we don't have any other items or cards to use, so all we can do is attack every turn with Flamethrower. So it would be like you discard an energy, you attach it back the next turn. Unless you want to switch around. And boom. There we go. Another strategy that you can use is damaging Ivysaur And once it evolves into Venusaur EX, you should hope to get a KO for 2 points instead to shorten your time. But as you see, I did the expert one, and I finished in 9 turns, as you can see here. 2 turns earlier than the Charizard deck. So you don't need Charizard, and I obtained this battle task easily, right? That is just to showcase how easy it is in comparison to the Lapras deck. So, I recommend saving up your stamina energy here. Event hourglasses, I have 25. I recommend saving them up because even though it regenerates 1 energy every couple hours, like 60 hours for full energy, right? 5 energy. So why do I say take your time and chill? Because as you can see here, you have time until the 13th of December, and that is how many days? That is exactly 14 days from now. You can finish all the tasks within a week. This one might be a bit more difficult because it requires 20 wins. So if you have 2 Blaines, I only have 1, you can also easily use auto battle. With this button here, you can start the match immediately with an auto battle. That is only something you can do against CPU battles, solo battles, not against real humans. Just have that in mind. When it comes to auto battles, how bad would this deck be? The only bad decisions I can see the CPU will do for you is equipping the Moltres extra energy to 2 different Charmanders, splitting them up instead of focusing on one of them. That could probably make it more difficult. However, other than that, it might attach extra energy on Moltres to use Heat Blast here, which isn't that terrible, still has enough HP. And with everything that we have here, the only thing that would not make sense is the Pokédex and Pokéballs. No, the Pokédex will not be used with the strategy that I have in mind. Especially the best combination that you can do for finding cards is having Professor's Research, a Pokéball and a Pokédex in your hand. You would do a Pokédex and check the first 3 cards. If you think, the first 2 cards are amazing, I need them, you can do immediately a Professor's Research to get those 2 cards and then refresh with a Pokéball to get the basic Pokemon. Right? It can be like, okay, I already have Charmander. Like, I have Charmander as a starter, right? I start the match with Charmander. I look at the Pokédex, it tells me the next card is Charmeleon and Sabrina, for example. And I'm like, that is beautiful. I will get it immediately. I use Professor's Research and then I get both Charmeleon and Sabrina. And then I will use Pokéball and hope to get Moltres instead of a second copy of Charmander. If I do so, I can put Moltres into battle and immediately switch out my Charmander, which probably has 1 energy or I have X speed already, and go to Inferno Dance and start setting up the whole energy farming already within the second turn of your match. This is the power of the combination with Pokédex, Pokéball and Professor's Research. Unfortunately, I don't have a perfect showcase with that example that I made up right now, but I did have a couple times where I had both those 3 cards within my grasp, and exactly as I described it is how I used it. So when it comes to cards in general that you can use for deck building, let me go to this deck again, without any filters of course. Many of you may use red cards. I stopped using that. It's very nice to shuffle the enemy deck into enemy hand into their deck and make them take 2 free cards only. However, why would you use that if you don't see the enemy's hand? I would only use red card if I also have hand scope to reveal the enemy's hand, or have a Pokemon that does the same with the ability of some of the Pokemon. I'm not sure if any of the Pokemon have that ability right now. I do know Porygon is here. Look at the top card of your deck. You can have Porygon in your bench to scan your first card at the top of your deck. That way you can get rid of the Pokédex cards if you want to use Porygon for that reason, right? That's one thing that you could do. Or you can have a Pidgeot with drive off, unlimited amount of Sabrinas. So you can get rid of a single Sabrina, for example, or even both Sabrinas if you're dedicated to using Pidgeot. But Pidgeot, the downside is it's a stage 2 evolution. You need to have 3 cards, the basic Pokemon and 2 evolutions, and you might not get that until the match ends. So yeah, I love that Porygon too. Not Porygon 2, but I mean Porygon, comma, 2. Yeah, unfortunately there's an evolution called Porygon 2. It's so weird. And then Porygon Z, I'm like, why didn't they do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or something like that? And why did they have it like Porygon Z? How do I know Z comes after 2? Yeah, it's just stupid shit. I love Porygon. So, again, back to topic. Red card makes only sense with hand scope or an ability that shows the enemy's hand. Even then, just think about it. You would want to use this red card the more cards the enemy has in their hand, right? To have the most out of it by reducing their hand down to the size of 3 cards. However, think of yourself in that position. Why would you even have that many cards in your hand to begin with? Maybe it's all the cards that you don't need, and enemy uses red card and be like, oh, thank you for using red card, now I have exactly the card that I need. And using a red card can be very detrimental to yourself. So my strategy has changed from trying to disturb the enemy's flow to increasing my own flow and reducing RNG based factors. By that, technically I wouldn't use mulches because of the coin flips, but this is fairly easy to do, very low risk, and it's always free coin flips, always free. It's not like Misty, right, where it starts and if you have tails you don't get anything, right? Infinite coin flips with Misty versus free coin flips guaranteed with Inferno Dance. Massive difference. So anyway, I started to use cards that do not rely on luck as much with the coin flips, as well as using Pokédex to see which cards come up next, and if I don't like them I can refresh my deck with a Pokéball. And it doesn't mean that I want a basic Pokemon. This is just a secondary effect for me if I wanna utilize the Pokédex card, of course. So with Professor's Research it's so easy, like exactly determining like, okay, look, I need, let's say you wanna play Dragonite deck, right? Perfect example, because I have made an Eevee deck which uses Dragonite here. This is my special deck that I created and managed to get my 45th win. I love this. I love this so much. So, the issue with this deck, I have only one Dragonite, which means it's difficult to get the evolutions, right? I mean, Dratini is easily obtainable at the start of the match, or if I use a Pokeball. Now, the next issue comes getting Dragonair and Dragonite, right? How would I know when to obtain them? Fun fact, there was a match where I had only 2 cards left in my deck, and one of the 2 cards were Dragonair. This was in the last 2 cards of my deck, and I did not have any single Pokeball to use or Pokédex to navigate at the time. That's when I decided to include this new strategy. So, that way, you would need perhaps, like, let's say you have Dratini in your bench and you have Dragonite in your hand. It's cool, right? But you need Dragonite to evolve. So, you have these 3 items. You can check Pokédex. Do I have Dragonair in the next 3 sets? If I don't, I will use Pokeball first. Not to get a basic Pokemon, but to get the refresh of my entire deck. And then I will use a Professor's Research to draw the first 2 that are randomized now to quickly speed up the process even more, right? This way, I reduce the time it takes to get the evolution that I need, the card that I need to quickly snowball the game. Reasons for these are why I stopped using Rec Card and the Scope and focusing on the combination with Pokédex, at least 1 Pokédex per deck for myself, and that's what I've been using. So yeah, that's something I feel like is very nice to do, and I wanted to share that knowledge that I have gained with you guys. Now, since we obtained this little gift here, the promo gift, I will obviously use it right now and see what's happening. Do we get good card? Yes, very good card. Second Jiggly. Thank you. Thank you, Spec. Okay, next up. I'm not done with my tips. Wonder Pick. Starting off immediately with this place here. With your hourglasses. When I first streamed this game, I did talk about how it might be useful to have at least 3 stamina available at all times and not have this one. Having like 30 to 40 hourglasses, right? That was my idea when this game came out. And over the course of the 2 past weeks and all the knowledge that I've gained, I stand corrected. But with a tiny adjustment. I would technically try to keep enough stamina so I have 4 if I need to recharge with my hourglasses, right? Have enough hourglasses to use 4 stamina immediately. Why? If you're trying to look for 2-star cards, which are full art cards, you can get them. EX full art card are 2 stars with, and trainer cards that are full art are also 2 stars to my knowledge. Those cards can pop up in this Wonder Pick. I'll try to look down and see if there are any cards. I highly doubt, it's very rare, right? Full art 1-star cards are 3 energy worth, so keep that in mind. And 2-star cards are 4 energy worth to pick. And as of now, it doesn't seem like I have any, but I did see that pop off, and I obviously did not obtain the card and got a random low level card instead, but that's fine. So now I'm looking at the 4-star cards. Now I mean 4 energy picks, right, with the 2-star artwork. Since I haven't found any, what is my next priority? My next priority is to look at any cards that I may have added a heart on it, which means favoriting cards put a favorite on the card, which I don't. And I will talk about it in a bit. Because I maybe get 1 thanks every other day, but yesterday I got 10. Oh, I wonder how the game decides which pack it chooses 12 to others. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it does that. But yeah, I was gonna say, if there's no Wonder Pick with 4 stamina for the 2-star full art cards, next one I do is looking for any favorited cards that I have. If I still don't have that, I look if there's any card that I don't have yet. For example, this Eevee full art, I don't have that. That would be something I would technically decide to get, but it's a very expensive one with free energy, and all the others are not worth the pick. Same for Alakazam here. It's too expensive for the low chance to obtain that card, right? Here we have an EX card. Interesting. I don't have Clefable. If I want to obtain Clefable, which is a 2 diamond rarity, it's 1 energy worth. 3 diamonds are worth 2 energy. And 4 diamonds and 1-star cards are 3 energy. So there's that. So technically I would shoot for Clefable, that is 1 energy, but waste triple the amount. That's a bad trade. I would rather wait because it's a low rarity card. I would not use Wonder Picks for this. And by scrolling, I haven't found a single card that I don't own. I mentioned that long ago, and most people know already by now. This little booklet shows you that you already own a card. That booklet. You don't have to click on the card to check if you already have it or not. And the reason I found out, okay, I don't have this specific card with this Clefable is because there's no booklet here. I don't own this card here, and if I get closer, 0. As you can see here, that's one of the cards I'm missing. And if I want to get closer, I can scroll down and see it's only in the Pikachu one, so it can only be found in this Pikachu deck. Makes sense. So, what do? I wait. I wait and check the Wonder Pick another time. That's what I do in this situation right now. Now, the only thing that I haven't explained with this area is all the cards that I have put to favorites. What I do is go to a booster pack, let's say Mewtwo, because that's the pack I have opened the most of. Just select it, right? That's it. I have... Wait, before you do that, click on this button. It will show all the cards that you do not own as well. It's just entire decks. And then scroll down, you will see a new option. Card decks view options. Click on the first one. It shows the rarity with stars, 1, 2, 3 stars, and the crown rare, of course. Promo cards, you don't have to do that because you don't get promo cards out of these. So I take Mewtwo for example. I want to check just for the Mewtwo packs any cards that I'm missing, including the star rarities. This is what I do, and then check out. I'm missing a single card with the diamond rarities, and I have 11 full art cards, 11 star rarities. I'm missing number 188, it's a fucking Pidgeot. And you don't know, I have missed 3 Wonder Picks for Pidgeot, and Pidgeot can only be found in the Mewtwo deck. So, I put a wish list. And here we have all the full artwork cards: Venusaur EX, Gengar EX, Mewtwo EX, Koga, Giovanni, Articuno EX, Gengar EX, and then the last 3 are obviously the Crown Rare Charizard, but the Crown Rares are found in all 3. You can get a Charizard EX Crown rarity with the Mewtwo packs as well. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. Hi Kiran, how you doing? So yeah, that was the crown, right? You don't have to look at loss free. I already have the immersive card here, so I don't need to do that. You can't get immersive cards. You can't obtain immersive cards and crown cards in the Wonder Pick. You can go all the way up to 2-star with the other EX cards. So what I do is every card that I'm missing that is deck specific here, that says Mewtwo deck for example, I will mark them as a star, as a wish list. Now I will move on to the next deck. Charizard, this is the second most opened deck that I have so far. I'm missing 20 and 22. 20 is Victory Bell, only in Charizard, I wishlisted that. Executor, same. Alakazam, also the same. Charizard only. Machamp, also Charizard only. There can be something like Hitmonchan. Oh, this is also that. Any else? Like, for example, Rattata is the best example. It says Genetic Apex without specifying the deck itself. If there's no specification, do not put a star wish list on that card, because you have options no matter which deck you pull, unless you absolutely need it. And then for every missing card here, I've put a wish list. I have done that. What I haven't done is doing the Pikachu deck, the same thing. But that's a good reason why I didn't do that. So, since I have the entire Charizard and Mewtwo packs wishlisted, all I can do is scroll down with this speed, just looking at any hearts that might pop up on my screen. The last one, the expired one, is a bit more difficult to look at, but I scroll quickly like that with this scroll wheel. If I don't see a heart, then I will just click out immediately, which I usually do, unless something catches my eye. Living the dream, holidays are over. Oh, let's go. Poor guy, holidays are over. So, since I haven't found any of the hearts that I put, I will probably scroll through maybe the Pikachu decks, right? Pikachu specific decks like this Eevee full art that I haven't marked as wishlist yet. I can see that and judge by the quality of this. Do I want to give up my energy, or do I want to save up? And like, if I were to use this free stamina mon, I will have 0 stamina. I will be broke. So if, let's say, 2 hours later someone pulls a 2-star card, Gengar EX, and you see that and you don't have that, you would require 4 stamina. But yeah, now what do? Do you want to spend real money for that? No, obviously not. You missed your chance. I'd rather have a 1 out of 5 chance to get a 2-star card, specific one that I need, than pulling and pulling non-stop in the pack list here. So yeah, that's the Wonder Pick strategy that I have. Now, how does that tie in with the 3 decks here? Moving on, as you can see here, I have gathered almost 1,000 points, pack points. What I do, or what I did so far actually, the first 500 points I gained by only opening Mewtwo packs. Specifically, I haven't opened any other packs other than the Mewtwo packs until I reach 500 points. 1 pack is 5 points, right? 100 packs is 500 points, so I opened 100 Mewtwo packs before I switched to the Charizard packs. And what I changed was from 500 all the way to 750, which is exactly 250 points here. And 250 points is exactly 50 decks, 50 packs I mean, with the Charizard. I reached the 50 point, right, 750, and then switch to Pikachu. This is how I keep track of which packs I have opened and how many of them. And once I reach the 1000 mark, right, which is a single pack left, I just need to open one more pack in the Pikachu deck. After that I have 1000. That means I've opened 100 Mewtwo decks, packs I mean, 50 Charizard packs and 50 Pikachu packs. That's the general statement. And once I have the next card opened, I will go to this place, turn on this one, and then try to click on all the cards, like this Butterfree for example, and put it to a wish list. And then I would not have to worry about a single thing in the Wonder Pick. I can just scroll down, boom. Okay. After I reach the 1000 point, which is literally the next pack opening, I'll do this again, and then all I'm gonna do is, for example, go to Mewtwo. Oh my god, what did I do? I didn't even click. Go to the Mewtwo deck, right? Check. How many cards am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. I'm missing 8 cards in the Mewtwo pack specifically. And then I compare it to how many I'm missing for, let's say, Charizard. Because I reached 250 packs here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 cards, basically the double. So, let's say it's only these cards that exist, right? At this point, I will make the decision based on how many cards I'm missing. Right now, I'm missing 8 cards on the Mewtwo packs and 16 cards on the Charizard packs, which means I will start picking the Charizard packs until I obtain a couple more cards that I'm missing. Why? Because I have the highest chances of obtaining a new card in the Charizard pack because I'm missing 16 cards here instead of 8 cards in the Mewtwo pack. And in the Mewtwo pack I'm only missing Pidgeot as a standard card, but I have like 3 full art Pidgeots for some reason, right? Very funny. I would not pick the Mewtwo decks because the rarity distribution is way different. I only miss 1 normal rarities, like anything that's not a star rated rarity, right? I have only 1 card missing here, whereas with Charizard I do still miss a couple of normal cards. So I will keep pulling in the Charizard deck for a while, right? And you know, you can select the expansion that you want. We will get another one next month, I think, yeah. To my knowledge, we will get new packs before the end of this year. That's what I have seen circulating everywhere. And with that new pack, we'll get completely new cards. The pack points here, right? The pack points here are specific only for this genetic apex, these 3. These points only stay within the same expansion that you selected. A new expansion means 0 points, right? So, the new expansion, I will do the same strategy. I will first look at each deck. Okay, what cards do they have? Majority of the cards that I want, for example the Gardevoir card. Like the Gardevoir card was the main card that I wanted to pull. So I picked Mewtwo and I pulled until I reached 500 points. But I do not recommend you to go to 500 points like I did. What I will start doing with the new expansions, because of my slow speed of the slow speed of the packs that you generate after you pass that beginning stage, I will start getting 100 points with a single pack, which are how many? 20 packs, right? Getting 20 packs of, let's say, Inteleon pack, I don't know, just making up. Let's say Inteleon pack, I'll pull 20 times to reach 100 points within that booster, this new expansion, right? 20 packs in Inteleon, and then switch to the next one, Cinderace pack, and then I check up another 20 packs, I see 200 points, it's time to switch, and then check out Rillaboom pack, I don't know, and then pick to 300 points, that's another 20 packs. I would rotate much quicker than what I'm doing right now. What I've been doing is 500 packs, 500 points, which is 100 packs in the Mewtwo, just because when you start the game, you get a lot of free pulls, a lot of speedy hourglasses sent to you for the missions. With the beginner missions and the advanced missions, if you complete all of them, you get so many packs to open, which is why I managed to go all the way to 500. But yeah, that is the system that I'm taking for myself, because that's how I easily can manage how many packs I have pulled for each version, and then I can combine it by looking up all the missing cards for a specific pack. Like, let's say 20 packs on this one I pulled, and then I will start wishlisting cards slowly, right, before I move on to the next pack, and then pull 20 from that one, and then go return there, start wishlisting on the second pack, and then go to the third one and rinse and repeat. That way I wouldn't have to worry about wonder picking as well. Also, one thing that I'm really curious about, wonder pick in the future might be so much more difficult than what we have right now. Because right now we only have one expansion and there are not many different cards. And saving up the wonder pick energy is much easier right now due to the fact that we only have a single expansion. Let's say in the future you have 3 different expansions or 5 expansions, right, a year after this point. I don't know how many expansions they will add by that point, but imagine we have 5 expansions, which means 5 times 3 cards, if they're gonna do that, like the 3 versions. 15 different packs, and you have so many different cards that you don't own in so many different ones, that if you go to Wonder Pick, you might not see anyone in your friend list picking for Mewtwo Genetic Apex packs anymore. So if you were to wish for a Wonder Pick with a card you don't own, like in my case it's this Eevee, again I did that Eevee. If I were to look for this card, the only other possible solution that I have is either actually pulling in this pack myself, which means, let's say, I have the hourglasses 2 times a day opening a pack. Instead of opening in a pack where I have the majority of the cards available in my deck already, I would rather change to a different booster pack that I barely have any cards, to obtain as many new cards as possible. So picking in Genetic Apex in the future might be so worthless, such a bad investment with your hourglasses and your pack openings, the free packs. That's the better option would be Wonder Picks, right? But at that point, when you have multiple expansions, it will be more difficult to get this Genetic Apex Wonder Picks. Like, how would you be so sure of your friends picking a Mewtwo pack or a Pikachu pack in the future, right? So it will be more difficult to obtain the card you want. So this will be a huge problem in the future. But we already have a solution that is at works. That solution is none other than the trade button. This feature will be available in the future update. This trading function will be a core gameplay mechanic in my opinion in the future. The more expansions we get, the more important the trading will become. And then it will be a true trading card game. Because right now it's not a trading card game, it's a card game without the trading. Isn't that funny? But yeah, those are all my thoughts and tips and tricks, majority when it comes to the cards and decks. I will go into the shop real quick as well. There's still something to mention. I've saved up a lot of tickets, don't mind me. Always get the daily gifts, always get the thanks gifts, like 5 a day. And also what I can recommend here is getting the hourglasses all the way till it says exchanged. And there's the refreshed monthly, also hourglasses. I prioritize the pack hourglasses first, both of them. And then I prioritize next the 6 times hourglass. The thing is, the refreshed monthly hourglasses are more expensive than the normal ones, right? So I would recommend you focus on the refresh monthly ones, especially if it's a low timer right now as of 1 day, because tomorrow, or rather on Sunday, we will have a refresh and I will be able to deplete all my tickets on these hourglasses. But before you do any of this, scroll all the way down. Make sure to have 2 copies of Professor Research, 2 Potion, 2 X Speed, 2 Pokeball. That's all. You can have 1 Scope and 1 Red card for the time being, right? I already have only 1 single one of this one. Same for the Scope. But just earlier this week, I have bought myself a second Pokédex to have 2 Pokédexes and 2 Pokeball and 2 Professors in a deck. Just for the new strategy that I built. So getting these cards are a higher priority with the tickets. After that you can decide, hey, do you want this cover maybe for the binders? If you are interested, I am not. Forget about this, don't do this. It's way too expensive and barely any worth. So that's why the hourglasses have a much higher worth. Usually I'm not saving these up, the shop tickets, because I don't think there will be much going on. Except for supporter cards and item cards in the future, they might refresh for different cards. I'm so excited for the future, what kind of supporter and item cards we will obtain. That's something I'm looking forward to, which is why I wanted to save up until I realized, hey look, these refresh monthly. Why do I not take everything, 10 exchanges, right? This means I will lose 30 of these shop tickets on this one. But why am I not getting 30 hourglasses right now? No, 10 hourglasses for 30 tickets. Because this is just 3, right? And this is 2. Just 1 difference. I don't remember the difference between the times 6 here. 12, maybe 13 here. Not sure. 13 times 10 is a 130 tickets. Let's say on Sunday you get the 6 hourglass packs refreshed, and I will exchange all 10 of them, which will reduce 130 tickets, and I wouldn't have enough to obtain everything from the other ones, right? So the Wonder Hourglass, the single one, is not a high priority for me. All I want to do is the normal pack hourglasses first, and then if I need to obtain a wonder pick, for example the 4 energy cost wonder pick, and I don't have the energy, but I do have the tickets to buy them, that's when I will buy them. Emblems, you don't need to save up here anything at all, because this is specifically for Genetic Apex. When the new one comes out, you will gain new tickets for that one. It's just whatever. This is a special series. It says right here, by consuming high rarity cards, you get special tickets, or you give up 300 of your tickets, normal tickets, for one of these special shop tickets, a single one. And you see how costly they are? Forget about it. If you want to obtain these special tickets, I'll show you in a bit. I wouldn't recommend you to do so, for 2 good reasons. Now, there's the tab from main to limited time. There's premium pass, well, up to you. It's too expensive for me to actually have it worth. But I did do the 2-week trial, right, and then cancelled the subscription so it doesn't take away money. By that, the first thing I did was obtain this Pikachu card. It's a promo card, right? And clear every single mission that I had opened up for the month, right? And I obtained 30 premium tickets. But I'm not buying a single one of these Mewtwo ones. Why? I'm waiting for this to deplete, expire, that's 32 days. I'm not interested in any of these. I'm waiting for the next one. I'm excited for the next one. And once we get a new Pokemon as the main accessory piece, I will have 30 tickets to use on it immediately without needing to buy the premium pass again to get the tickets with the missions, right? Because as it says here, it doesn't specify any expiry date for the premium tickets. That's a very important thing here. It's not bound to Genetic Apex or whatever. It's not bound for this Mewtwo one. That's why I'm waiting a full month to see what the next one is. And if I don't like that, well, bad for me. I will wait another 2 to 3 months for another new one. I will wait all the way until I feel like, oh my god, I really want this. Let's say a Sprigatito one or Meowscarada. I will definitely obtain that even if I have to pay. That's me though. That's me because I love Meowscarada. But I'm saving them up because I don't like the Mewtwo mod as much, and I hope for a better one for myself, for my own tastes. Yeah. Even if I don't like it, doesn't mean it's not good. Like, this is very awesome. That looks so badass. And the cover here, also beautiful. These artwork are beautiful. But I'm not into it. It's not for me. I acknowledge it's very beautiful and really good, but it's not for me. So, the 30 tickets I have left, if you count all the accessories together, you have 12, 12, 24 at the top row, and then you have 6 down here. That's exactly 30 premium tickets. So, when there's a new one, let's say Meowscarada version next month, I'll have exactly enough for all of them, if the prices don't change, of course. I'll be able to get the complete collection, and that's what I'm aiming for. That's why I haven't bought a single one of these. Like, I could say, okay, I really want the backdrop, but I don't care about the rest. I could do that. But what if there's another one next month, and I want all of them? I would be missing 3 tickets, and the only way to obtain them is by paying money to do the missions. The gold coins, the gold, Pokégold here, this is a waste of money in my opinion. Unless it would be Meowscarada, then I might have bought it already at this point. And then you have a more expensive version for card sleeves as well, and the playmat. By the way, I've never seen a single person having a Erica playmat, a card sleeve, a coin, not even this alternative coin. I haven't seen any of this. It's up to you. And there's other. I have no idea what that would be. So, I wanted to talk about something briefly. It was about these special tickets, right? Special shop tickets. And you obtain them by checking up a card, like a very rare card, the star cards, right? Clicked on obtain flare, and then you see this button here, special shop tickets. You give up one of your full art cards, the star cards, for one shop ticket, as well as giving up your dust. That's for 1 stars. 1 star equal 1 ticket. Now the 2 stars, the EX full art, give you 5 tickets if you give that up. Either that, or you can give the card up for special effects, or use it for tickets. Then the immersive ones, the 3 stars, give you 12 tickets. Or you can use a nice battle effect or stuff like that. You can really flex with that. You know what I did? I had 3 immersive Mewtwo's. I have 3 immersive Mewtwo's, right? What I did was exchange one of them for this effect. Purple battle effect, right? Like you can pick any of them, and I thought this one looked the coolest. And I got that. Instead of exchanging for 12 tickets, and you need to give up 4,000 shine dust to get this as well, right? 12. Let's say 12. You get 12 from this alone. From an immersive alone, you get 12, and the other one is 5, right? Let's go back to the shop to check the prices again. And that would be 12. It's just one immersive card that you give up for a coin or a card sleeve. For playmat, you need to give up 2 immersives and 2 1-star cards, or 1 1-star card and I think 5 2-star cards. So yeah, getting the playmat will be super expensive, as you can see here. Especially if you want to do the 2 immersive, giving up on 2 immersive, that's 8,000 shine dust, right? Plus the 1 missing, no, the 2 missing that you have, right? That's another 2,000. Give up 10,000 shine dust and give up your copies for this special coins and playmats and all. Why would I advise you against that? First of all, disclaimer, if you really want it, get it. It's down to preference, right? I'm not really fond of it. Like, it's only a flex, the point of flex. The only point to get that is to flex in my eyes, because I don't feel so attached to the design as much. Sure, it looks cool, but it's just like, hey, look, I have so much luck with the immersive cards or the star cards that I obtained this special coin, haha. That's how you can flex on the people, right? That's how I see it. But we might get more variations in the future, and I bet we will. And the reason why is because it had set 1 as the name, special coin set 1. We will get multiple sets in the future, and I would love to see them as well. So, why do I advise it against that? Especially with the full arts, right? I will stop doing that. Like, remember when I used it for a flare? After this Mewtwo one, I stopped doing that. For the star cards, why did I stop? I stopped because trading will be a possibility in the future. And getting the 2 stars, trading the 2 stars might be possible due to the fact that we can wonder pick the 2-star cards. I don't think you can trade your immersive cards and the crown rarity cards. I highly doubt that. But I could technically trade this card here. I hope so. This way, I have a feeling that obtaining the immersive card that you're missing will be easier with a friend that you can trade with, right? I'm thinking ahead to the future of this game with this one. So, how will trading function? I have no idea. But my guess is same with the flares. To obtain a flare, you can't just give up immediately, right? You cannot exchange unless there are 2 or more cards remaining afterwards. Why? Because if you want a battle, use it in a deck, you can take 2 copies with you, not more than 2, right? That means having at least 2 is necessary. So if I had the 3rd electrode, I have 2 right now. If I had the 3rd one, I might be able to trade the 3rd one, but not the 2 ones. I don't think I can give up on cards like the Lapras one here. I have only 1 of this, and I don't think I can give that up for a different card. Which means I would not have this card in my decks anymore, right? That doesn't make sense for this game's perspective. IRL? You don't give a damn shit about decks, right? Just like, okay, I have this Alakazam IRL. Let's say these cards don't exist IRL right now. This is just digital here. But imagine you have this card IRL and they're like, yeah, I don't like this card as much. I'm not a big fan of it. I would really, really love to get a Charmander at least instead. You can find a friend who has the Charmander and you will give up your one and only Alakazam full art just to get a different one to trade IRL. Like, obviously, like you give what you don't want, right? But in a gaming sense, I don't think you can give up the one that you have. It doesn't make sense. Like having at least 2 within your possession at all times, and every one after that will be able for trading, or will be able to use it for flares, or even exchanging for the tickets here. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Getting flare really is something that feels very nice. Like for this one, the Mewtwo one, I do not regret it. I think for the immersive cards, if you're not able to trade them, the immersive ones, it would make sense to grind them down for special shop tickets or even the flares if you really wish so. I have obtained this Psyblast one, the burst, really love that, but I haven't used the Mewtwo EX cards in ages because I've been having so much fun with all the other decks that I've created, like Touch Grass here, the Venusaur EX deck with Butterfree to heal myself non-stop, unkillable Venusaur tank unless you're fighting Charizard. That's what I'm going for. I have the Gacha experience with Marowak, but I also have Kabutops to try out, and Primeape is very strong. Then I have Oop, where I use Lapras and Gyarados as my heavy investing Pokemon cards, and Starmie EX for a cheap card that deals lots of damage, right? I also have made the Charizard one for this event. I have made the Fossil one a while ago on my own, which really sucks. Really bad. But I can change it by giving up on Onix to get the second Pokédex to alleviate my experience, and get rid of Giovanni as well to get the second Pokeball. That's how I, you know what, let me do it immediately. Let me do it. I can get rid of Brock because I'm not using that anymore. So I'm going all the way down, second Pokeball and Pokédex, and I can add another card if I wish so. I'll do the second Giovanni, and there we go. I optimized this deck immediately. It's about at least twice as good as it was before, just because of this Pokédex and Pokéball combination. Well, this is just for funsies, nothing too serious with this deck. But I enjoy building decks. The Eevee deck has been my favorite to build so far, because I wanted to use all the evolutions until I realized I can only pick 2 Eevees, regardless if they are the same card or not, like the same artwork. I have different artworks. I thought I could do that. No, you can't, because the name is Eevee. If it's like Eevee EX or something, that would have been different, right? That's how you can use multiple Eevees technically. Right now you can only use 2 Eevees and 2 evolutions at the same time. I've seen a YouTube video someone using Vaporeon, Jolteon and Flareon in a deck, but only having 2 Eevees, which means having 3 different energy types. I thought, no. If I'm gonna have 2 energy types already, I decided on Vaporeon and Jolteon for water and electric, because the only card that has double energy types, dual types, is Dragonite as the only card, which requires water and electric, right? Once you have those 2, it doesn't matter which energy you have. With Jolteon, it's only 1 electric necessary and another any random one. For Vaporeon, it's 1 water and can benefit from the single Mystic card that I have here. 1 Mystic card for Vaporeon. If it works, it works. If not, doesn't matter. Are they good cards? Jolteon, yes. 4 coin flips, 40 damage for each flip that you get heads on, which is a gamble. I don't like that, but it's helped a lot. You can... What I do with this, when it's 4 coin flips, I think of it as at least getting 1 of them right. I take not the 50% approach. Realistically speaking, I expect 1 coin flip to be heads and 3 of them being tails. And if not, I get pleasantly surprised. That's how I work with this. So I crafted this, right? 2 different energy types, getting Dragonite to pair it well together with. 1 Misty card, not 2, because this is not a water deck, just a single Misty is more than enough. I have 1 Pokédex so far, and I'll leave it at that. I leave this deck as it is. The only difference is I also have Ditto. Copy anything. Ditto is not a good card technically speaking, but the reason why I picked it is because I'll have 2 different energy types, as you can see here, water and electric, and right now the most cards you see currently when you fight other people, most of the time you will see electric or water decks, right? The third type that I see most often is psychic, and 4th would be fighting. Fire types I don't see as often anymore, but if there are any fire types, I have my Vaporeon to take care of them. It's very funny. And if there are any water types, I have Jolteon to take care of them with the electric advantage, right? These 2 have great advantages just because it covers up so many matchups within the current meta basically. And I didn't build it for the meta's sake, just for the convenience sake, right? So if there's a fighting deck, that's the one I would struggle the most with at the moment, right? Psychic technically as well, because I don't have any advantages. For grass types, however, I have nothing. Does it matter? No. No. I don't have any grass weakness, that's why it doesn't matter. So, since water and electric is the most types I encounter, I put Ditto. So in case an enemy has a Starmie, I can equip 2 water on Ditto and use the Starmie's 90 attack damage move on itself. Ditto is my Uno reverse card basically. If I need it, I need it. If I don't use Ditto, let's say a fighting deck, I don't have fighting energy so it will be useless. Ditto would be useless. I use Ditto the same way I would use a fossil. Fossil 40 HP just a face tank until you get a better card, right? I would use Ditto as a damage sponge, basically, to save up 1 turn, at best 2 turns before it dies. This is why I have decided on Ditto. It will still give me more freedom and variety against multiple different decks. And building this deck was so fun. I really enjoyed it. All I wanted was building EV deck, and then I realized, okay, Dragonite is my main damage dealer here, other than Jolteon, for example. And I had battles where people, well, when enemy opponents conceded because I used Vaporeon and kept healing it. Like, healing with 30 damage each hit. I had 2 potions as well on top of it. Like, the enemy said, no, I'm out. 2 potions on a Vaporeon healing 40 HP, plus the 30 HP from this attack, 70 HP healing, more than half of its own HP healed. Like, the opponent didn't even want to play at that point. Even though he had a chance if he just kept going. He just didn't want to have this horrible experience, which is totally fair. But no, if I were to optimize this, I would remove Ditto for a second Pokédex. That's all I would do, because the most difficult part for this deck is getting the Dragonair as soon as possible and equipping all the energy. It's very expensive, and the only energy speed up that I have is Misty for Vaporeon. So if I do have Vaporeon in my hands, I will not immediately use it unless I have Misty. As well as if I have an Eevee on at the play right now, and let's say I get a water energy and the next one will be electric, and I have both Vaporeon and Jolteon in my hand, I can on the fly decide, do I want the electric type to attack immediate offense, or do I want to build a tank to wait turns until I can get Dragonite ready to fight. That's what I can do. But that's all I wanted to showcase and explain. I've been talking non-stop, and that's been wow. If I were to make that into a video, that would be so long. I would definitely look up if it's possible for me to make it into shorts format, into smaller chapters, like chapter for Wonder Pick, chapter for card picking, chapter for the shop, chapter for favoriting Pokemon, maybe? No, not really. Talking about the trading pods and how I built the deck, maybe with the very start, where I made the Blaine Deck. Well, it's not a Blaine Deck per se, because I'm missing another one. But yeah, I use this pack points as an indicator of how many packs I've opened. You can do whatever you want. I'm not saying, hey, you have to do this. And just, I have gotten used to this system that I've made for myself, which is most comfortable for me. And I really like it this way, you know? It makes me feel like I'm really using everything to its max potential, being the most efficient way I can be with everything that I have. So for example, I'm missing this Pidgeot, I can just click the exchange for 150 and I have it immediately in my hand. But I wanna wait until the very end. I will wait until I get 2,500 points, because how likely is it to obtain a freaking crown rare card? Very unlikely. So, in case by the time I have 2,500, I don't think it will get to that point that easily, because we will have different expansions, different cards in the future. I don't think it's realistic for free-to-play like me, like mostly free-to-play, to reach that number. So, what's more important, if you care about fighting, exchange to the card that you want. technically I could have exchanged into Sabrina early on because I haven't gotten any Sabrina cards for the longest time because I didn't pick in Charizard packs, but I picked in Mewtwo packs where Sabrina doesn't exist. So yeah, I could have exchanged it to have my early time in the Starmie deck and the badge system much easier for myself, but I did not. Because I'm more determined in the long run to save up the points and potentially get the rarest card, because the chance to get this is way too low, so I would rather save up all the way high there to get the 2,500 exchange. Which one I will pick? It doesn't matter to me as much. Probably not Charizard, because the only reason I play this card is, like, I'm not a big fan of the Charizard deck. The only thing I use it for is this event missions, right? The solo battles here with the Venusaur. That's the only time I use Charizard. I never used Charizard when it came to the badge event that we had earlier. But anyway, that aside, why would you even listen to any of the advice that I would have given to you? Well, I'm not a TCG expert, but I have lots of experience with the original format from Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. I also used to play Pokemon Trading Card Game Live for a bit. I'm not a experienced pro gamer here when it comes to TCG. I'm just a casual, an interested casual gamer, let's say, that has lots of experience over the years, over the past 5 years, I would say, roughly. And I've grown accustomed to the original rule set, right? With the 60 cards in a deck and all that stuff. Now, this app only has a very small version of it. 20 cards a deck, 2 duplicates per deck, and then you have 3 points that you need to win. You have no energy cards, no stadium cards, no item cards. I mean, not item, I mean specifically Pokemon tools. You don't have that. You don't have the void zone, as I call it. It's like the zone where you can't even retrieve your cards back, because once your cards are gone, certain cards or items like Pokemon abilities as well can retrieve items or cards from your discard pile. That's also existing, but it doesn't work with the Lost Zone. There we go, it's called Lost Zone. I have experience with all of that, and I tried to play and made my own IRL deck as well with all the cards that I collected on my own. Obviously not the best deck, of course, but it was fun. And I have managed to get every single mission here in the solo battles, as you can see here, for all difficulties, all the solo battles, except the Venusaur drop event because it just came out today. And when it came to versus battle, I already have the golden badge, as you can see here on my profile. I have the gold badge, the gold emblem, for the 45 wins that you have to get for the previous event that is already over. If you missed it, you missed it. That's it. That's the reasoning that I have to prove my words having more value, and yeah, basically having more value. If you want to listen to it, up to you, but one final word to you would be: do whatever you want to do. Do what you wish. Do what you feel like. If you want to get that card, craft it. Or if you don't want to craft it, just don't care about wonder pick. Just pick the card you want. You want to have 10 copies of Meowth? Go ahead. Like, there's also an option for having different languages for the cards, right? Like, as you saw above, right now I'm looking for it. No, I have a Japanese card, right? For this one, Bison's genetic Dracofoy, something like that. You would see different languages, right? You have Persian, Griff ombre. Dans une pièce, si s'efface, défaussez au hasard une carte de la main de votre adversaire. There we go. See, I'm butchering it a little bit, but French Persian card if you want, right? If you in for the collective aspect, you want a different language, hey, just go ahead, do whatever you want. It's very easy and very fun to do. Like, I would obviously look for different languages as well, like especially the Japanese one looks so cool. Like, the only one I remember is Greninja. I have obtained only a single Greninja, and that was through the Wonder Pick. And it's a Japanese Greninja. I have a native Greninja. See, like, I was lucky to have it my first Greninja as well, to fill the decks. But if you wanna get a different language card, just go ahead and just do whatever you feel like. Again, just have fun with the game. Everything that I said is only there to help you minimize the loss that you could potentially make, as well as maximizing your efficiency, if you care that much, that is, right? If you care that much, that's the main bottom line. I'm saving up the event hourglasses, but you don't have to. Like, you just throw everything at the game you want, play however you want. And if you need a friend, I already showed it multiple times. Here's my friend ID. I still have a couple friends that I can add. Because of the fighting, I found lots of new friends as well that got sent to me. I have 72 friends out of 99. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I would love to see more. So, in any case, if anyone is... Yeah, copy... Yeah, I forgot I can't do that when I'm... I can't copy here, right? Wait, I can? Holy. Wait a second. I can copy that. Anyway, I sent my friend code in both YouTube and Twitch chat right now. Thank you for the hydrates, thank you for all the comments. I know I haven't been responding to them because I was too focused and wanted to get this entire session done. And oh my god, almost 2 hours, what the fuck? How long have I been doing this? I went so deep down, focused and immersed into showing and sharing all the tips and experiences that I've gained and the way I play this game that I completely forgot about the time. Oh my god, I should have walked my doggo about a half an hour ago actually. Jesus Christ.